Hello, replay viewer. Thank you for joining. I am Ami, broadcasting from Far East Japan. Here is the Wednesday, Wellness Wisdom Wednesday, to share some wisdom about how we can identify non-physical element as an energy with a Japanese way of noticing using that word as a tool to share some cultural wisdom so that maybe get some new ideas to broaden the awareness for your conscious creation everyday life. So I'm kind of frustrated today for the setting, and sorry for this to get some energy setting. And I was gonna do the Wednesday weekly show on Instagram instead of Twitter. Here is the YouTube, and the Twitch is I like to keep it in that way for easier replay and archiving for the later use. But I realized that Instagram's video is showing the character in the mirroring, so which is not so ideal. And then I decided to do that with the Twitter instead of moving into the Instagram. So that's what was happening, and I realized at the very last moment, and then changes making me creating a big hustle, and then I'm hypnotizing myself to overwhelming. So I'm Hi Mel. I was just telling about that. I was gonna go live on Instagram, and then I realized that their camera is mirroring in the opposite, so it's not so ideal using this card to show. And then I decided to come to the Twitter as usual and keep that live with YouTube and Twitch as usual, and then archive for YouTube, so that's for the later use for replaying and everything. So yeah, I think I need a little more further careful study about that, better way to operate. But for now, thank you for being here. It's the green heart you have. So yeah, the Wednesday, Wellness Wisdom Wednesday, is to share the Japanese word, the energy word, Ki. If you're familiar with the Reiki, healing modality, Tai Chi, Qigong, these are the Chinese. When you pronounce it as Qi, that's reflecting the Chinese modality. And so then the Japanese wording, we have so many words using this particular energy character combining to make any meanings as an word, and that is something related to energy. So many different ways to relate to energy, and which is quite unique to a Japanese wording and culture. It's too different from China. Originally, even this came from China. So they're reflecting some sort of like an island wisdom of relating to the energy in everyday life. So sharing this wording might be useful to get some new ideas to how we can relate to this energy, even that non-physical ones, the invisible one. But we use these words all the time in a daily basis. So and then these energy words are for universal energies like weathers and skies and universe and collective energies, and that is also energy. Everything is made of energy. And then and also for individual local energy, like very personal, individual matters like feelings and actions, and these are the energy related to something we are manageable using our personal power. And then somewhat the weather, even it's made of energy, it's quite challenging to direct the weather to stopping rain by our personal power, so needing more collective larger energy to direct in changing of this weather, for example. But our intentional creation, absolutely we have a power to redirect the energy for bettering with the consciousness. So I chose these words, particularly that we have absolutely having a control towards these way to relate to energy and share as a wisdom every Wednesday, and to get some idea the way to relate to energy. So here is the 7 word that I chose to share in, and let's see what comes up for this today. This day is, okay, here. Ta. You. Brave. This is a interesting character actually. Cover in the top, and these 2 portions, middle part and then the bottom part. This 2 combination is meaning for man, women, man, which is this portion is the field, the farming field, and then this part is the power. So the power in the field is the man's work, used to be the long time ago. So this is the word for the man. And then on top of it, it's like a covering that head with the man. I think it's like a samurai kind of, cover in top, the man's. It's the brave for the fighting. So that's the combination of the meaning of this particular word, you, which is the brave. The man's putting the cap on, cover in the head. So then this with the energy, the brave energy, it's the courage. So I got this. Perhaps it's easier to operate. The energy, brave energy. Brave energy. Yeah. Brave energy. Brave energy is you. And that's the meaning of courage. How we can use that brave energy, courage, in each energy center. It's the 7 energy chakras. So let's check what would be a helpful idea to relate to this each energy center with brave energy. What we can use this brave energy for better in. Here is the, okay. I thought it's neat to hold it in this way, so then you can see it better, because I'm holding it as always like, moving around, and then it's, so here, maybe I need some, something to cover here, like, Oh yeah. Great. I think we pick this frequently lately. So it's natural that when we are working on some sort of new creation, and then to start something new, it's always requires brave energy, braveness. So I'm gonna carry some holder next time. So today it's still here to operate this in a way. Okay. Still. Okay, here. So the Yuki, brave energy. Courage. With the first energy center, which is the earth energy, color red, about the survive, safety, the basic needs and foundation of our life is courageous survival. So the safety is needing familiar comfort. That's what we need. But in order to grow, somehow we want to explore something new and to receiving the challenge to getting into some new arena that requires unknownness, unfamiliar, and then that could turn into fearful because we never know what is going to happen. We never experienced yet. But on the other hand, that will give us an opportunity to grow, expand. So then, brave energy is good to have that to building that survival with the safety, the nice balance of the safety. So that's the energy, the first energy center. And then the second energy center with the color orange, creativity, pleasure, finances, and emotions with courage is courageous pleasure expansion. So sometimes it's that some people came from the discipline that overly enjoying is not a good thing. Whose idea would be is perhaps it's the parents are putting the limit to whatever the reasons are. Too much having fun with no homework to be complete, or just to give it too much it's not so good for you. The overeating and too much joy. So sometimes needing the courage to banishing this old idea that is unhealthy. The healthy one we want to keep it, but somewhat there is also unhealthy one is implemented back in childhood. So it's good to be review and to expand openly to welcoming the fun, joy. That's one of the things that we can do with brave energy. And the third energy center, it's the color yellow, sense of self, self-love, to decide, being responsible, power, healthy ego, is that courageously decide, decision. So indecisive. Sometimes I go dismiss indecisive, like I don't know, which to choose, what to do, because I'm unsure. These chaotic kind of mindset and needing some clarity, helping to decide. And when you're feeling that, it's sometimes it's very difficult and fearful to decide. Even it feels like a significant decision, but decision with the courage to practice is, you know what, that there is no size in decision to decide. So practicing that easy decision, mm, easy decision to practice and building the muscle when you feel like noticing yourself like hard time making decision, avoiding decision, depending on other people and following through. That's unhealthy for third energy center, sense of self, self-trust, taking care of your own needs, will, and to, the power. Losing the power, giving power to something or someone else. But I understand that I often go there though. And what I discover is that since there is no size on decision, big decision or small decision, decision is decision. But we feel like that's a significant decision because the matter is very close to the core of our needs, something important. So it feels like bigger. So to rebuilding that courage muscle is to ask yourself to decide even the everyday things. So do I want what do I want to eat for the breakfast, for the lunch? Where do I want to go for shopping? For what do we want to buy? Do I want to buy the grocery? Like asking, not just the grabbing things or just following, but using the conscious choice to choose and to choose, the shower first or coffee first. Choose, ask ourselves to rebuilding that power to choose and to decide with less feeling significant. But the brushing teeth is such a big deal, for everyday things. So but it's not as to deciding which to put yourself for pitching clients or something like that. Decision. mm. Mm, feel decision in a way is blocked or doesn't work out. And that's the after the decision made, the consequence of the decision that we make is about the future, right? Outcome from the decision. That means that making that choice is coming from fear, or perhaps it's the failure. That's something fearful based on the past experience, and then unable to choose. Sometimes when I notice that making decisions and so much pressure under responsibility, and then it's very fearful to make even the tiny things. And then I started to draw sketches and then create some new artwork with the blank canvas, the brand new one. And then I realized that I was unable to put the first move on it because so fearful of failing. It's just for fun though, but I noted myself as like I am unable to create the first thing. Yeah. So if that's the case, noticing that where you are right now in the emotional pressures, and that is needing attention to. It's okay to make decision, and there is no failure to from the decision if the decision was not aligned to the outcome we are shooting for. Maybe that set set it outcome is the level is high enough, that too high. So maybe lower the expectation from what we do as to make mistake, possibly, but do it anyway. So the perfectionism sometimes challenges to decide to act out, to decide to do that. So, and then one of these things that the business leaders, like CEOs and then the top management people, like these people are making decision all of that time. So it's pretty quickly knowing to decide and decide and decide. And these are the muscles that they are developing every day. Look at the traders, like they are afraid to make decisions. Sometimes they go there though after the big failure, big loss, or the whatever, the market crashed and all that. So what need to rebuild that decision making muscle is to just consciously choose everything, and then rebuild the muscle again until it comes a natural path to decide, to decide, to play with the safe place and allow the failure. So when I started to do that drawing for my own fun, and then noted my hesitation to do the first thing, sometimes I go to the new notebook and unable to write that line for 2 weeks. It's called the writer's block, or whatever, like an inner blockage, like challenges to want to stay here familiar, but I gotta go over, breaking through to explore something, and courage is needing. I know everything, but somehow body blocked and then unable to push. So to just easy to choose, like for me it was easy to choose for the morning coffee, tea, or shower first, what's the breakfast, writing first, or checking update first. It's just like a consciously choose, consciously, and then create that list, like, okay, I chose this, and then witnessing to building that energy, courageous energy for decision. That is helpful. And then it's no need to damaging that, no extra damage from there. So finding yourself that where would be the easiest way, less resisting to decide. Hi Caroline. Low resisting expectation to decide, and then it's okay to fail, and then actually there's no failure. But if someone else is involving and being responsible, and then we feel more pressure and responsibility, and then that really make us challenging to decide. But and then it comes down to we are all only can be responsible for our own decision, not for someone else's. So be prepared to accept the outcome openly, and to believe in self that we have a power to find solution for the consequences. That's the path to grow the healthy ego and boosting the self-esteem. So yeah, thanks for sharing, Mel. That's a great example. I go there often, and then I myself is denial type. So it's like denying to postponing or choosing not to decide. That's the decision that I've been making as a denial. But at the end of the day, or end of the month, or the end of the season, it's like, hey, still choosing not to decide? Come on, it's going to be heavier and heavier, and then not going to melt away anyway. But sometimes, just like a pimple, when it's too early and it's hard to push it, break through. But when the time is ready, and then could be easier. So procrastination is sometimes is being part of co-creation with the universe. So just either way, but it's good to practice the decision making choice. It's like when you go to the restaurant and then know that with a friend, for example, and know that what you want to eat. Avoid saying like, I have the same, and then notice that when you're saying, oh, I have the same drink too, please, and then you may be choosing not to choose. So ask yourself what, and then checking your mood. That's all about the knowing own needs. And then whatever is not good for nurturing our own desire, the third energy center need the courageous energy to ask our need and to act out. Thank you. This is for the third energy center. And then the fourth energy center is the heart chakra. It's the true love, sharing and open up the heart and to, without hesitation, to connect, give, receive. That is love hearts. Love hearts. And then from the past experience of betrayal, it's needing the courage, but loneliness kills, as we shared. Indeed, that love hurts, and then but to prepare for being said no, the rejection, and that's okay, but without showing that, and that actually more of some kind of unsatisfying feeling remaining, finding that space within us, and then permanently living that feeling for all the way our journey goes. Damn it, I was unable to speak out that time. Are you familiar with the feeling? I had that in one person that I absolutely believe in. That person is my soulmate, and then for some reason we are like separated or like unable to connect, and timing was whatever. And then but at the part of me is like I got to expressing this heart openly. And then after 3-4 years, and I was unable to move on, so damn it, it's like a energy, courageous energy to, for the fourth energy set, the heart chakra, to speak out. So and then whatever would that be, the consequence of that, but I am satisfied. So that was the that actually took the hero role for my own souls or spirit sakes. So that sometimes we need to be own hero to allow the heart to, and then whatever available, the wording or intellectual to support the heart of the matter with the courageous energy, yuki, courage, brave energy. So then the fifth energy center is truth expression, true voice expression. Yeah, that actually coming from the heart, and then to wording out the truth without the sort of like masking with the faking protection that a mind set, but to use the mind to support the heart of the matter and engage the heart, and then the intellectual availability and the skill must support our heart of the matter, and then choose the word, not being used by emotion, but use emotion to guide, and then smartly wording, composing the word to speak out the truth. So that of course, really needing the brave energy. Sometimes it's the voice shakes like and the hands are like shaking. But if that happens, it openly expressing, and then when we get rejected, and then these people no need to have that on our path anyway. They're not our tribe. But when these people really care about, and then that is giving more deeper understanding or bond or connection. So that is such an experience, but worth inviting this brave energy. Even the voice shakes. Shake. Yeah. And then sixth energy center, third eye, courageous vision, realization. So intellectual. When we are so being responsible or like learning about that challenges, and when we were younger, like a children is open to wonders and easy to visualize and allow that to guide, but somewhat logical common sense that we learn as an adult give us a hard time to follow that imagine, like a possibility and human gift of imagination. So that courage is to allow that part with the logical, like a brain, right brain with the imagination and intuition, wonders, and then with the logical deliveries and numbers combined together, sometimes needing a really brave energy to do that. Since so much easier to making sense all the time to justifying own action. But sometimes it's a heart of the matter is not logically in fit. When you can create some logical story for the heart of the matter, that would be wonderful. But that's also part of the journey. And then balancing it out to align is such an important factor. And courageous energy is braver energy is for the intellectual realization is needing. And then seventh energy center, it's the self-transcendence. It's about courage to knowing that we are all connected. And then somewhat it's the energy of faith to believing that universe is co-creating is of course we do our part to prepare safety and then all that, and heart is aligning, but and on top of that it's the energy to invite in that whatever available the universe is back decision. So that's sometimes losing faith when we are taking it into the challenging crisis situation. But the bottom rock is the new beginning, the wonderful place to shift our perspective. So energy of courage for universe is also co-creating. So that's what this week's word, energy word, courage, braveness, brave energy, invite in for our everyday creation. Thank you for the heart. It's getting dark, so let's quickly pick the word for you if you are open to get some wisdom energy word for this day. Please give me the number between 1 to 7 for me. thank you for the heart. 3. Okay, Caroline. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ta. Boon. Boon. This is the part of environment, part of the group, part of unity, part of the field energy, part of. So the local energy is always part of energy part. Kibun, that's the mood. So the mood is influenced by being part of the world around us. It's the mood. And let me check. Let me pick that. Where is it? Okay, so these are the. Oh, okay. So, and then aspect and the chakra energy center here I pick for you is this one. Yellow, the solar plexus with the flexibility with the mood, being part of the surroundings, influencing you, your sense of self, self-love, power, and the decision, being responsible. So, and then the flexibility means like sometimes it's that, we got to be in this way or stay in here in the, being part of this. And then that actually as a discipline. But sometimes it's give ourselves a permission to be flexible, to step out, or just to explore something different, atmosphere or people or the space or the routine, everyday routines that actually influence and reflect to that kibun, which is the mood. So when you feel like a mood is depressing or like something like draining, and then be flexible. Allow yourself, give yourself a permission to change the state that you've been part of. That could be a good wisdom to change mood. Might help your sense of self and enhance the self-love and boost the healthy ego. So I'm sending healing and energy that to reminding that we can always change. If it's hard, and then finding the easiest way to change, so the way to be able to shift the feel. Maybe sometimes it's to put the music on, or put some aroma oil that will also shift the energy of the world around you, so that actually influence to the mood. Thank you for allowing. Six. Okay, for Mel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop. Gen. Ki. Genki. Gen is the source energy. How is your source energy? That's the energetic being. So how are you? Greeting, asking other people in English, and in Japanese we ask, so how's your source energy? Checking one another. So the genki is about healthy, excited, energizing, or no genki, I'm sick, I'm weak, I'm sad. These are the negative emotions. And then also these are influenced by emotions. It's coming out within the kibun. The other one, mood was being part of the environment, but Genki is more coming from our own source energy. That's the difference. Not so much being influenced by the world around us. Sometimes it's the including the world around us influence this source energy, but it's more of coming out from within the source. So and then let me check the aspect for you. Reminder that purple. I'm wearing purple, getting dark here. Purple, seventh energy center, universe, and the flexibility. So this the Genki, the source energy with the universe is that, and then in conjunction with the today's talk about the third energy center and courage, it's the third energy center, courage and Genki is really related because the source energy is the self-centered, like a source, the solar plexus, the fire to decide, sense of self, healthy ego. So to be responsible and driving force, that's a core, and the source energy directly related. And to this seventh energy, the one with the universe and the energy of faith, divine, being flexible. So that somewhat that we feel like we are responsible for our own part, but forget about the universe is always co-creating and being part of. So that maybe we can give more power to the universe once we decide. So we are co-creator of our own life with the universe, and we do our part, and then let the universe take care of that part. And when we complete everything as the way exactly what we planned or intended, and then we are ignoring the universe part, so it's like unexpected part is always universe is playing that. And then sometimes we feel like a failure, but perhaps that the universe has better idea not to have that outcome. We only know the own way of experiencing life, and then the universe is an unlimited resource out there. So being open with the flexibility and to boost again, like hey, my creation is also co-creator universe is now taking the role. And sometimes it doesn't fit in the linear time schedule, as we wished for, which is in case of me, actually. I wanted to have it yesterday, last month, last year, but universe it hasn't a better idea, perhaps. So that flexibility is the negotiation to ourselves, and to boosting Genki, the source energy, and to reminding that, hey, perhaps it's changing, and then the universe is always with you, creating. So reminding that to be okay to decide and to change until it fits in the better way, realigning, defining, to boost that Genki. Does that make sense? So I'm sending a healing to rejuvenate the source by doing something enjoyable for boosting the energy within the source. So it's good to choose the easiest way to nurturing your inner child. Perhaps is the good way to start. Thank you for the hearts, ladies. You're very welcome. Thank you for connecting Wellness Wisdom Wednesday. I'm really fading out in the background. Shoot, I was gonna put some lights. Maybe this would help a little bit. Spooky kind of. Thank you. So before closing here, let us connect our energy as one energy by reminding that we are all connected. And thank you for your presence. I truly appreciate you guys are boosting my Genki today. I started with anxiety of almost like self-hypnotizing with the new settings. But yeah, I'm so grateful for to be able to connect and shift in my own energy too. So let us synchronize our breath, deep breath. Oh, thank you, Mel. Thank you. I'm so flattered. And deeply intaking from nose. And then exhaling one. Let's do that one time. The big one, real good one. And circulate all this new energy within us. And then to connect as one energy and support each other, one another, is the shifting alignment for perfect resonance to source aliveness together. Ready? So let us take a long deep breath, counting 3, 1 from the nose. Go. 2, 3. And exhale. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate deep in the heart. And the play viewer, thank you for joining and sharing and retweet always. And here the Twitch and the YouTube, thanks for leaving the thumb up and then subscribing if you haven't done it yet. And hope you're having a wonderful day. And this wellness wisdom, energy wisdom might be helpful, expanding the idea to noticing the energy that we can use, even if it's invisible, for everyday's bettering. All right, well, thank you. You have a wonderful evening and night, and I see you when I see you. And then happy end of the August, wrapping up this month of August. I see you next month. Bye. Thank you.